Hey, Fino Boxing fans, here with the one and only undefeated Andres Cortez, title contender. Big fight coming up June 21st at the Phantom Blue. How does it feel, man, being able to showcase your talents once again in Sin City in front of your hometown fans?
It's a great feeling. I've loved fighting here in Vegas. Seeing all my fans, all my supporters coming, my family. It's definitely a lot of extra motivation to do good and deliver those nice knockout highlights.
Obviously, coming in, undefeated 21-0, 12 knockouts. You making a name for yourself, especially the last few fights. You beat Xavi Martinez, you beat Brian, the Puerto Rican guy, two title contenders. What were those victories and for you, and how does that benefit you moving forward, giving you that confidence that you can compete at this level?
I've known I could compete at those levels. It was just getting the opportunity to compete in those fights, and now I think it's just all happening. I'm where I'm supposed to be at, and getting these kind of fights, and there's there's no stopping now. I'm here to really make some noise and keep delivering knockouts.
You taking on, fellow title contender Abraham Nova, like we mentioned, June 21st.
Yeah.
He's been in, the game for a while now. Are you familiar with what he brings to the table?
Of course. I've seen him a lot of times. I've seen him fight a lot of times. You know, uh, I know what he got, and I know his goods and his bads. So I'm gonna go in there and really make a statement.
Yeah. What type of fight you expecting? You expecting Abraham Nova maybe to come in and try to box a little bit? Obviously, from your last two stoppages, do you feel that
Yeah.
he might get on the bicycle and use that ring?
Um, I'm I'm pretty sure, but I know that he likes to bring it, so I'm expecting everything. I'm ready for whatever he brings. And that's what we're preparing for is any style.
Yeah. What kind of statement do you want to make on fight night? Obviously, you're ranked number two by the WBO. You're also ranked by the WBC. Obviously, it's a stacked, weight class at 130 pounds. What kind of message do you want to send to the, to the fellow champions?
I mean, I definitely want to make this fight easy compared to like his last fight when he fought Foster. Um, Foster struggled with him, and I want to prove that I am better than Foster. So me putting him out, uh, you know, I think I'll have that one up on the WBC champion. So it would only you know uh, be right if I get that title shot.
Is that who you want next if you're able to, beat a Nova on fight night? You want to get Foster?
I mean, I'm chasing any champion.
Hmm.
It really doesn't matter. I'm not picking and choosing. Whoever gives me the opportunity, it's the first one I'll take. I'm ready for whatever.
Yeah, we still don't know the possibility of the WBO. Obviously, Navarrete is the main champion. Oscar
Yeah,
Valdez is the interim. Obviously, Navarrete just struggled and he lost at 135. So the chance he might, move down to 130. Either one of
yeah,
those guys, man, would one of those guys be kind of like a dream matchup just for, what they bring to the table? Mexican Warriors, both of them, multi-division war champions.
yeah. I mean, if they want a tune up, I mean, if they want a tune up, I'm here. Like I said, I'm ready for whatever. I'm not picking and choosing whoever. Whichever fight makes the most sense, and really whatever my promotion gives me is what I'm willing to do. So yeah, I'm ready for whatever.
Yeah. Obviously, 130 stacked with talent, 135, off camera, you mentioned, sparring Tank, going to school with Devin Haney. And I would imagine just being in Vegas as well, Ryan Garcia will spar there as well. Have you sparred all three guys?
Never Ryan Garcia, but well, I actually fought Devin in amateur, and then I sparred Tank 2 sessions. So I've learned a lot over the years. I sparred with a lot of former champions. So the list really goes on, and I've been around Floyd Mayweather, so I've really witnessed a lot of great things, and I think that's why I'm here because of just everything I've seen.
Any advice that you could share with the fans? Just like you mentioned, you've been around Floyd. He's been one of those guys that, especially lately, he's able to give back to the younger generation. Has he given you any tips, any advice as far as boxing?
I mean, no tips and advice. I mean, it kind of speaks for itself. He's always put the hard work in. So I think you put the work in and the results show. And I think that's where, people are like, see my record and they kind of think it happened overnight. But this is something that I've been working for, my whole life. And it's finally started to show. And I'm just getting better and better every day.
Yeah, obviously you put in the grind, the blood, sweat, and tears, being 21 and 0, 12 KOs. One step away from potentially fighting for a world title. You mentioned, sparring Tank. How's that? Obviously, Tank, we see what he brings to the table, but sometimes we don't see all the skill sets that he has. Just being in the ring with them, what can you share as far as details, that maybe you were like, damn, this guy's actually just, super quick, or just his IQ ability, what can you share to the five fans?
Definitely his IQ, and he's just one of those guys that, like, are you kind of got to be like awake for it. He's a special fighter. Obviously he's undefeated. Almost all his wins are by knockout. Uh, his record speaks for itself. But yeah, he's definitely a special fighter, and you definitely learn a lot being in the ring with those kind of fighters. And it's something different than seeing it from the outside to
Hmm.
being in there with him. It's definitely those experiences you can't teach.
Yeah, obviously he's in camp just like you. He fights 1 week before at the MGM, and then you fight the Fountain Blue. How do you see his fight against Frank Martin? It's being talked about. Obviously, it's Amazon pay-per-view. Do you think Frank Martin could bring anything to the table? They could maybe throw the wrench in there and potentially, hand tank his first defeat.
Um, you know, Me being a fan of the sport, I honestly think this is not biased, just because I don't know Frank Martin at all, but I know Tank from Spawn, so but I truthfully think Tank knocks him out in the later rounds.
You mentioned, going to school with Devin Haney,
Yeah.
middle school, sparring with him. You fought at the amateurs as well.
Yes.
There's a lot of controversy, obviously, what happened with the whole, Ryan Garcia testing positive, with the
Yeah.
A and the B sample. What do you think, if he had a chance? I don't know if you guys still have, some sort of friendship, but what should be the next step for Devin Haney? Should he try to maybe get that rematch if, it turns into a no contest, or he should just walk away from Ryan Garcia and focus at someone else, either at 140 or maybe 147, since we know he's a big boy at that weight class.
Honestly, I have no clue. I I mean, I don't even know. I mean, I don't even know because once a cheater, I feel like always a cheater, if that makes sense. So that fight, I don't even know. I'm still kind of shocked till this day of how the fight played out, but yeah, I don't even know. I mean, I wouldn't call any shots. I don't really know how he's feeling about it, so I think just based off that, he gets to
Yeah.
make those decisions.
If in the future, whether win, lose, or draw, if you ever, one of your opponents tests positive for something, what do you think should be the suspension? We see the 6 months, sometimes we see 2 years. You think boxing in general should send a message to people they do come in and knowingly cheat, whether Ryan Garcia did it or not, but just in general.
I think those fines hurt, right? I think give us some good fines. Uh, I think that will probably be the best punishment. I think that's and then obviously a suspension, but I think the fines are definitely the best way. And as a fighter, you love fighting, so if you take that away from them, it has to bother you.
Yeah. Now, working with Top Rank, one of the, if not the best promotional company that we've seen in the last 50 years. We see now Top Rank, go overseas to Saudi Arabia. As
Yeah,
a fan, do you see yourself at some point, fighting in the Middle East and putting up a show?
absolutely. I want to. I mean, if I could, I'd do it now. That's definitely one of the places I'd love to go to, and definitely fight there. Um, I've heard really good things about Saudi Arabia, and I just want to hopefully just go out there and fight.
We see that portrait behind you, Muhammad Ali.
Oh yeah,
One of the
yeah,
best of all time. Now one of the best times, one of our, the best of all time, Mike Tyson is making a comeback against Jake Paul. Do you see that as a positive or a negative for boxing? Just the fact that we have a 58-year-old Mike Tyson fighting a 27-year-old Jake Paul, who obviously we know, starting up in Disney, an actor, and then became a
yeah.
YouTube star.
Per me personally, I think if it's like actual fight or whatever, I think Jake Paul obviously wins. So I don't think it's good for Mike Tyson, but at the same time, I don't know what kind of money they're making, so I wouldn't really, I don't blame Mike for taking it. I guess I hope
Yeah.
he's good after the fight.
If you could pick one opponent, if you're wearing Jake Paul's shoes and that Andres Cortez, you become this huge star that hopefully you will. You're like, you know what, I
Yeah.
want to fight this guy from back in the day. Someone who's going to be 30 years older than you. Who would you fight, man? Would it be like a Julio Cesar Chavez or Finito Lopez or maybe even a Floyd? At that point.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'll fight Floyd Mayweather. Get him his get the money fight.
Well, it seems he might have an exhibition. We'll see if in Mexico against Victor Ortiz. Maybe
Yeah,
once you come out victorious, if then maybe that possibility could happen. Who knows?
yeah. I want the money fight. Yeah, that's the
Yeah.
money fight.
Yeah. Do you think Floyd Mayweather is the best of all time?
In my era, yes, I think. I mean, he's the best I've seen. Uh, so I would say yeah.
Yeah. If he were, now we see Terence Crawford making more,
Yeah,
a name for himself. He's 40, fights August 3rd. Floyd Mayweather, kind of pitched the idea that he should move up and either fight Canelo or fight a David Benavidez. Do you think that would be good for a Terence Crawford to move up, to that weight class, maybe three, four weight classes and face these bigger dudes?
I mean, he beats up heavyweights in sparring and stuff. I know that, so I think he could handle it. And I think a lot of people don't really understand how good he is. And yeah, I think he'd give Canelo a great fight and a really close fight. I just I'm not sure if Canelo wants to do that, right?
Yeah, I think there's we hear rumors that he's willing to obviously to entertain it and maybe not. Obviously,
Yeah,
fighting a smaller guy sometimes you have everything to lose, nothing to gain outside. Obviously, a big purse from the Saudi prince. But obviously, before we get to all those fights, we do
yeah.
have one official June 21st. You put on your undefeated record, and obviously you're ranking in the WBO as a number two against Abraham Nova. What do you tell the fight fans, the Pheno boxing fans, and everyone to come out, buy a ticket, be there June 21st at the Phantom Blue, and tune in on ESPN?
I mean, tune in June 21st on ESPN if you can't make it. And if you're here, I appreciate everyone supporting and showing, support by going to the fight. Um, and just continue to support me. And I definitely expect a big knockout this fight.
Ooh, there you go. There we go. Those are the words of undefeated title contender Andres Cortez. Thank you so much for taking the time here
Thank
with
you.
Pheno Boxing, and may the best men win on June 21st. Thank you.
Thank you.